What's going on, you people? Yuki J. Curry, Tribe of Judah, hitting y'all back with another video, y'all. Hope everybody doing well today. To everybody that's out there who may hit on this video near or far, to my subbies, right on. Thank y'all for tuning in and listening and everything. This video is gonna be kind of different today. Not doing a video, not doing a DIY or anything like that. Just a little talk. You know what I'm saying? I don't rarely talk on my channel, but I'm really just compelled to, just a tad. You know, I'm the type of person that I'm a discreet person. I'm a private person. I'm an introverted person. I really stay to myself. If y'all hear any noise in the background, forgive me. It's my 3-year-old Rajim, part of the Tribe of Judah, and everything. But just enough, you know, be rambling. I just want to speak a little bit about what had been going on in the world due to the not just dealing with the children and the teachers that perished at that school. I don't know the name of the school, but I've heard bits and pieces about it. My prayers go out to their families, loved ones, and I pray that, you know, for their sanity, their safety, and their spirits to be healed from this great tragedy and everything. But I came on here on my channel today to talk about the Johnny Depp and Miss Amber Heard trial. I'm gonna go back a little bit. Like a couple of years ago, I usually always get up in the morning and go to my living room and watch Good Morning America, and I always watch my Christian channels. So this particular morning, I always watch Good Morning America, but this particular morning, I think it was like a couple of years back, and they was talking about Johnny Depp. I'm like, what about Johnny Depp? You know, because you rarely hear from him other than movies, you know, and whatnot. So when I heard and they showed the things that were going on in his life, a little tidbit about what was going on in his life, and police officers were at his house, and they showed like disheveled rooms in his house and different things like that. And when I heard about the debacle, you know, everything, you know, everybody know what's going on. So when I heard about it, I'm like, what? I said, man, get out of here. I started laughing, you know. I said, nah. I said, man, get out of here. I said, no. I said, man, please. And I was like, you got to be kidding. I said, Johnny Depp, come on now. Come on now. So after that, I hadn't heard anything about it. You know, I just brushed it off, you know, because no, you know, been knowing about Johnny Depp since I was a little girl, since 21 Jump Street. That was my favorite show. I think it came on this Saturday evenings at 7 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken. But I never used to miss it. And when I heard about what was going on in his life, I didn't even know that he was married to this woman. I thought she seemed like you know, people in the world, you know, they have girlfriends and everything. Of course, I believe in marriage. But you know, when I heard about the things, you know, fast forwarding into the couple of years, you know what I'm saying, ahead, after I seen the little snippet on TV about his situation and whatnot, and I heard about the trial, the defamation trial, and of course the divorce and everything was with it, and I was like, wow. And the allegations that she set out upon him, you know, and everything, and ridiculing him with said accusations and everything. I was like, no. I mean, honestly, I was like, no. I didn't believe it from the jump, okay? Not at all. And I just want to speak on a little, and I was wondering why I was so compelled to watch this trial. I watched, I believe, all 6 weeks of the trial. I may have missed a few proceedings or whatever, but until the 6 weeks was up, you know, because I have a life. But it's like I was compelled to watch this trial that Mr. Johnny C was going through, and also Miss Amber Heard. At first I was a little disgusted. I was very disgusted and a little mad. A lot of emotions, like, because she put out an article saying that she was a victim of domestic abuse. And when I heard about the things that she was saying, I'm like, and I thought about Mr. Johnny C. I'm like, no, she lying. That's a lie. That's a lie to piss of hell. That's what I said from the jump before I seen anything. And it was hurtful to me, because you saying that you are an ambassador and you are a public figure that's coming against domestic violence. You said that, and these are her words, or whoever words, but she promoted those words. And me being a domestic violence survivor myself, it really antagonized me, because I know when a person speaks of domestic violence, something arises in my heart and in my spirit, because I've been there. And for a person to blatantly just make up, and I'm not saying that she made all of it up. I'm not even saying that. But far as the rape and the violence that she said she went through with this man was inconceivable to me. Because you have, even though y'all was married and y'all may have loved each other, this is what I was looking at. And then I was like, I put it inside with my life, into my life, and what I had been through as a domestic violence survivor and a rape survivor as well. And I don't usually say anything about my life, and this happened many years ago. But at the same time, when you say you are a ambassador and a public figure, and you're standing up for all women that has been through in a domestic situation, and to find out that it's a lie. But the thing about that is, I'm going to tell you something. The thing about that is, when a person done been through that, they know when you done been through it. Okay? There's no question about it. You can be the best liar on the planet, but if you saying something about this, a person gonna know. You don't need no expert. You don't need no bunch of panelists or people that went to school for psychiatry or none of that. Only thing you need is a real story and a real person, and can tell you if that person is real or not. You don't need no bunch of analysts and psychiatrists to tell you who lying and telling the truth. All of us know what a lie sound like, because we were once liars, or we still are. We know when a person telling the truth, because if we're a truth teller and we're honest, that's a basic and common way to tell somebody if somebody's lying. And you got some good liars. I was married to one. That was my first marriage. My second marriage was God sent. But for her to say that she is a public figure for someone like me, I don't think so. I don't think so. And if you was to understand the things that you were concocting in your head, and think about the women, the countless women that have been through an ordeal realistically and not made up, you would have thought twice about what you did and what you say. Because you obviously have to watch what you say, and you have to watch what you do. You are snared by the words of your mouth, and you are taken by the words of your mouth, no matter who you are. No matter who you are. Not just talking about Miss Amber Heard, because I pray for her. She's a hurt soul. She's a hurt soul. But hurt people hurt people. When you hurt someone else. It ain't always that you can always repress the things you do. Some people act out different from others. Whether they were molested, raped, abused physically, psychologically, whatever the abuse may have been. People act out in different ways. And that way, she shouldn't have acted. If you was going to take it out on anyone or defamate anyone, it should have been the one that abused you. Not somebody that genuinely loved you and cared for you in spite of his own self. And I'm not going to be long with my story. This happened in my first marriage. And I was wondering why I was so compelled for this case. Because I don't do stuff. I mind my own business. Okay? I'm that type of person. But when I saw this case, and when I saw Mr. C, I call him Mr. Johnny C. Mr. Johnny C. Dale. When I saw him, and when I listened to, because I listened to both sides. I don't, even though it was like tedious to listen to, you know what I'm saying, the Amber side, you know, and the lawyers and all that, they wasn't doing nothing but represent their client. Regardless if she was lying or telling the truth. They was just doing a service. Even though it was humiliating to them as well. You know, but of course it was grueling, it was agitating, it was vexing to watch. And anytime, and as I was watching this, I consult with the Lord. I I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, I believe in the Holy Ghost. And I consult, and I look at and analyze the things that were said and done during this trial. And I said, well, Lord, I prayed. That's the best thing you can do. You can talk. But like my daddy used to always say to me as we was growing up, talk is cheap. You can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? You can rant about it. You can say what you don't like about it. But prayer works. Prayer will get there faster than any cuss word or any thought or any opinion that we all have. You know, except for if you went through these things that this honorable man went through. Granted, he had a dirty mouth. She did too. But at the same time, he didn't have no dirty hands. He didn't have no dirty hands. And that's what matters. That's what matters. There was the love. Regardless of how he felt. He hurted himself before he harmed her. And that, to me, is not a sign of domestic violence. Sorry. Okay? I have been assaulted. This is my first marriage. Not my husband that I have now. No. This is my first marriage. I got married when I was, I believe, to the man that I have known since I was like 16. He proposed to me at the age of 16. He was 18 at the time. I was going through family problems. It came to a point where I was put out by my father, you know, but that's another story. For no reason at all, because of some woman that he was seeing that she didn't like me and I wouldn't tell my dad's business to her, so she concocted up a story and manipulated my father with it, and there you have it. So I didn't have nothing and nowhere to go but a trash bag and a prayer. And so this man, which was my ex-husband, was there, and he was the only one that was there. Besides my grandmother and my great-grandmother, but there were problems with that too. My mama had a problem with me being there, so, you know, out of respect for my mom and before I be disrespectful to her, because you're supposed to honor your father and mother, I left my grandmother's house. Even though my great-grandmother stuck up for me and said I could stay there, I left because I don't want no general altercation with my father or my mother. So I left, and that was the only arms that I could run into at that present time. Me not knowing Jesus at this time. I was still a teenager. I was 16 years old. So there comes that time where I went with him because he was trying to establish a new relationship with his mom, because they had their own problems in other timelines before I knew him. So he wanted to get to know his mom. So I decided to move. He said that I could come with him because I had nowhere to go. We were staying in his apartment at the time. But I'm getting up to why I was so compelled to watch this story, because it was so similar to the things that I went through when I listened to Mr. C, when I listened to Mr. Johnny Depp, and the things that he said even growing up. And I just found this out yesterday, which was the 1st, I believe, the 1st of June. And I had got up that morning when my daughter had ran in, it was like, he won. I was like, what? Because it's like, when I gave it to God, when I gave it to the Lord, I let it go because the Lord had already reassured me. But I also talked to him because things like this, I don't care who it is, man or woman, justice should prevail. I don't have no respect of persons. No respecter of persons at all. Because if it's a man getting abused, yes, he should be heard. If a woman, boy or girl, is getting abused, they should be heard. Period. They should be heard. And sometimes kids' parents don't even listen. It's things that my mom don't know about me right now that happened to me in my childhood. And due to this case and the victory that God allowed Johnny C. Depp to get, I can come out and speak about that. I can come out and speak about it because I'm strong enough to. And I just thank and praise God that he had the strength, regardless of what the outcome was, to tell his story, because he have every right to tell his story, whether if he's a man or not, but he's a man. And men do get abused. They do. I seen it firsthand. I'm not gonna speculate. I'm not gonna say who it was, but I've seen it firsthand. And I've also stuck up for that person as well. And he was a man, y'all. So don't be stereotypical, because anyone can be abused. I had an incident one time when I was with my ex-husband. This was before we got married, because he came back around and we got married years later after I left. It was an incident where he did what he did to me. And it was sort of similar to what Amber Heard was saying, that she went through 3 days of torture, this, that, but it was only a night for me. It was only a night for me. I may get into things. I may get into a real talk on my channel. I'm not for certain, because things, when it comes to my personal life, I am so reluctant to say, and it's hard sometimes. So, I just leave it at that. But if I'm compelled to, I would. But just to make a long story short, I thank and praise God that he won. He got the victory. God also got the victory in his trial too, because God revealed things as well. Whether if it was a man or a woman, God revealed. It doesn't matter. The truth can come out for anybody. And yes, men too, just like women too. But sometimes women be doing too much. I mean, if things happen to you, tell from the jump. Tell from the jump. It happened to me when I was a little kid. And you know what I did? It happened to me that night. The next morning when my mama came home, I told my mother. I didn't wait no 30 years to tell my mother. Just that one time when it first happened, I told her right off the jump. So I'm not understanding. And like to Miss Amber Heard, it's like, if you was going through these things, just because you saying you a public figure and ambassador, and you represent all women that went through domestic violence, I'm one of them women. And this is my thing. You was married to Johnny Depp. If you went through all these things, you had no ties to him other than marriage. You didn't even have no children with Johnny Depp. So what made you stay? Can't no love just make you stay with somebody that's doing you harm. I'm sorry. It cannot. It cannot. And it's just the truth. I got to a point where I loved him, yes. But I got to a point where I loved myself and my children. And that what mattered. The thing about it is, the only thing you could do is jump in your car and leave. I couldn't jump in no car. I'm legally blind. And that leads me to my next statement. That's what I realized, that what compelled me to this trial, because when it was all said and done, it was a particular video that I saw yesterday morning. And Johnny Depp was talking about how he grew up in childhood. And I listened to what he said about his sister and brother, how his mother, Miss Betty Sue, ridiculed them, did them wrong and such. And how he treated his mother to the end. And that's a great, great thing to do. Because he fulfilled the scripture, honor your father and your mother. He did that. He has no guilt from that. He did that. So, as he went to talk about the abuse that was inflicted on him, everybody know on my channel what I go through. You know what I'm saying? They know my story about my eyes. But I never knew, and I would have never figured, that Mr. Johnny Depp, was legally blind. And when I heard him say that he was, I said, oh my goodness, oh my gosh, are you serious? Because just to look at him out of my eyes, I never could see that. I would have never known if he would have never said it. He had to wear an eye patch. When I was growing up, I didn't wear an eye patch because both of my eyes are like his left eye. He's legally blind, I believe it's his left eye or his right, but I believe him saying his left eye. He had to wear the patch on the eye that was good, that was that he could see out of. That was, the nerves were excellent in that eye, so they covered that eye up so he could use the nerves and exercise the nerves in that eye that was weak. My right eye is stronger than my left. And before I had my surgeries, when I was little, I used to see like this. I used to have to look sideways before the Lord led my mother to Dr. Richards, and the Lord used his hands to have surgery on my eyes. That was the first time he did 2 surgeries, even when I got younger. I mean, when I was younger and when I was older, when I went back some years ago, he did some surgery. I found out he was still an eye doctor, and I went to him, and he remembered me because I was like, well, you don't remember me. I was like, I was a small child. You did my surgery. And he was this close to me. He was examining my eyes, and he was this close to me. He said, I remember who you are now. He said, I used to see like this. I used to turn my head so I could see the TV. And I used to have to sit this close to the TV. And my mom was like, you need to scoot back. You're going to get radiation in your eyes. But she used to just tell me that so I can move back from the TV. But when I heard Mr. Johnny Depp say that he was, and it really, really gave me some hope, because I had always been down on myself since I was a kid. My sister and brother, they used to talk about my eyes. People around me used to talk about my eyes. People at school used to talk about my eyes. Like he said, his mother called him cockeyed. Don't feel bad, Mr. Johnny, because I have been called cockeyed, lazy eye, 81 eye, all of the above eye, circle D. I've been called, you know, if I can remember, let me see, 81 eye 3. I've been called so much pertaining to my eye condition. You legally blind, I don't know, you have the stigmatism like I do. I have them in both eyes. I was born this way. I can see with or without glasses, but if I wear the glasses, they do help strengthen my eyes. But I used to be so embarrassed, because I've been wearing glasses since I was 2 years old. And I just didn't want to wear glasses anymore. I have contacts, and I don't even wear them because they don't fit right. So I would have to go back to my original doctor in order to get the right glasses for my eye, because he did my surgery, or the right contacts. But when I heard you say that, Mr. Johnny C. Depp, it really touched my heart. And you don't know me from nothing, but I know you more than you know me, because I've seen you act, I've seen your personality, I've seen your growth throughout the silver screen. And my daughter loves you as well. She actually had a dream about you and did not even know what you was going through until I told her. She was like, well, she woke up, she was like, Mama, you know I had a dream about Johnny Depp. I was like, well, you know what he going through, right? She was like, what he going through? And I commenced to tell her the things that you were going through. And like I say, that last video that I heard, and I watched basically almost the whole trial, but I was like, why am I so compelled to watch this? Like, why? It's a touching story, you know, and you had every right to tell it. And for you to say the things that you went through, even in your childhood, and that really, really gave me like some, I already had hope. Don't get me wrong. I already had that. But dealing with a person like me, dealing with an eye condition, you cannot work. Nobody wants to hire you. They think you blind, like literally can't see anything. They wonder how I do this, how I do that. Disability is trash, you know. They set you up to get let down, you know, and that what makes me down and makes me feel a certain type of way. But when you say that you are a freaking actor, you are an actor and you are legally blind, and even if it's just in one eye, it touched me because I know how you feel. I know how that feels. I had to have 2 surgeries on my eye. He had to take my eyeball out and correct them. My eyes used to go in so much that you could see the whites of my eyes. And when you said you had to wear the eye patch, I'm like, I understand. I understand it. Because I'm there. This is my life. The name of my channel is Yuki J. Curry, My Ready Made Family. And my quotation is always, or my saying is always legally blind but not handicapped. Legally blind but not handicapped. So I'm legally blind in both eyes too. And even though it's just the one for you, it's the 2 for me. And I thank God for you. And I pray for your healing. And I pray for your salvation. I pray for your peace. I really do. And if you ever was to see this video, stay strong. Stay strong. And always, always tell your story. Peace.